Looks like I'm moving in, back in the doghouse again.
There's some real trouble tonight in North Korea. We have had word that 2 American journalists on assignment there for Al Gore's current TV network, they have been detained. They've been held in jail since Tuesday morning. We found out about it today. Their names are Ling and Euna Lee. They were both shooting video along a river near the North Korea-China border when North Korean authorities detained them for supposedly ignoring warnings to stop taping. The 2 were reporting on North Korean refugees, many of whom have crossed that river, the Yunnan River, into China. The producer who was traveling with them was able to escape and alert American officials that they had been captured. Now, American officials are reportedly working with Swedish diplomats in North Korea to negotiate the journalists' release. Because the U.S. does not have diplomatic ties there, we're hoping the Swedes can hook us up.
CNN has learned the journalists were filming along the Tumen River, the border between North Korea and China.
Will be tried for illegal entry and hostile acts. Current TV's Laura Ling and Euna Lee were detained back on March 17th near North Korea's northeastern border with China.
U.S. journalists arrested in North Korea have been found guilty of a grave crime against the communist nation and of illegally crossing into North Korean territory. The country's state-run television reports Laura Ling and Euna Lee were each sentenced to 12 years in a labor prison as part of the conviction.
What that actually means, we don't know. What actually happened, we don't know. But Laura very specifically said, we broke the law.
And so with those carefully chosen words, her family and network of supporters will now ask for amnesty, which is an official part.
We're engaged in all possible ways through every possible channel to secure their release, and we once again urge North Korea to grant their immediate release on humanitarian grounds.
President Bill Clinton arrived in North Korea this morning on an unmarked plane, greeted by a little girl holding flowers. The former president is reportedly there to negotiate for the return of 2 American journalists, Euna Lee and Laura Ling.
Savannah, any indication as to why Bill Clinton was chosen as the special envoy?
Well, it's very interesting. It's a big name and a big card to play. Of course, the White House isn't commenting on it, but Clinton has a history with North Korea. He almost traveled there in 2000. And, of course, he struck a nuclear deal with the North in 1994. It fell apart in 2003. But the North feels that he has shown them respect, according to many experts.
My understanding is that it was negotiated at the highest levels of the State Department, and then Al Gore made the request to Bill Clinton when they realized that the North Koreans were sending the signal that it would actually work out.
After 140 days of fear and uncertainty, Laura Ling and Euna Lee walked away from North Korea, free women again, looking well and bound for home. Their release followed a stunning, unannounced mission to Pyongyang by former President Bill Clinton. After a meeting with the reclusive North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il, the journalists were granted a pardon, dismissing a sentence of 12 years hard labor on charges of entering the country illegally. Their hopes were realized after what NBC News has learned were months of secret negotiations, including assurances that the former president would not come home empty-handed. For Kim, the visit is generally regarded as a coup at a time of heightened tensions over North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Bill Clinton is extremely popular in North Korea. His arrival was widely reported there. And this photo was released of a smiling President Kim.
Also on that plane with Lee and Ling and former President Clinton is former Vice President Al Gore. We do expect to hear remarks from him.
We want to welcome Laura and Euna home. We want to thank President Bill Clinton for undertaking this mission and performing it so skillfully.
That is Laura Ling.
30 hours ago, Euna Lee and I were prisoners in North Korea. We feared that at any moment we could be sent to a hard labor camp. And then suddenly we were told that we were going to a meeting. We were taken to a location, and when we walked in through the doors, we saw standing before us President Bill Clinton. We were shocked, but we knew instantly in our hearts that The nightmare of our lives was finally coming to an end. And now we stand here, home and free. Euna and I would just like to express our deepest gratitude to President Clinton and his wonderful, amazing, not to mention super cool team. We'd also like to thank President Obama, Secretary Clinton, Vice President Gore, who we also call Al. The past 140 days have been the most difficult, heart-wrenching time of our lives. And we are just so anxious right now to be able to spend some quiet, private time getting reacquainted with our families. Thank you so much.
The pictures were worth a million words yesterday. I'm glad I could be of some help, but I am not a policymaker. I shouldn't be. So I have an obligation to report to my government and otherwise to say nothing that would in any way tip the balance of any kind of decisions that might or might not be made. I just can't. That was enough. I was not asked for any more, nor did I offer any more. What the White House told you on that was factually accurate. It was basically a lovely thing. You can see they're very nice people. You can see they're very impressive.